Okay, welcome back, everyone. We've got some more great tips for you about how to navigate the holidays in a way that's healthy. Ho, ho, healthy holidays. So back here with my friend, Carrie Nosler, and he gave us a great tip already about some things we could do to kind of mitigate the extra carbs and extra sugar and how to control blood sugar. But now he's got some tips for us to how can we make sure that we enjoy ourselves, but that we don't go overboard, right? It's easy to go overboard because abundance. So Carrie, what have you got in your bag of tricks there, your bag of known habits that you could just encourage us and help this Impacts family not go overboard when we're celebrating the holidays?
Actually, this is something that I've kind of learned myself over time in terms of when I eat. Years ago, I'll kind of put it back in perspective. Around the turn of the 1900s, the 20th century, beginning of the 20th century, there was a very famous health guru that helped people get healthy by the name of Horace Fletcher. Horace Fletcher had a clinic and people would come, and in those days they had a lot of dyspepsia. They had a lot of acid reflux, believe it or not. For some reason, I don't know exactly what they were doing. Maybe they were eating too much meat or something at the time. But Horace, the way he treated people, Wendy, was really interesting. He had them chew every bite 50 times.
Wow.
It was called Fletcherism. And people would leave and their health would be immensely improved. Well, why? Because when you chew well, you break the food down into more usable units so that as it goes through the system, it can be absorbed and eliminated more healthfully, you might say.
Okay.
When you just chew quickly and you swallow food without chewing it, you set up a cascade in the body where different bacteria act on that food. You got good bacteria and bad bacteria. But if the food is too big and it isn't broken down properly as it moves through the digestive tract, it attracts the wrong kind of bacteria. And one of the consequences, unfortunately, not only is acid indigestion, but it's gas, because now your body's creating things that it shouldn't create. So I got into the habit of really chewing my food for a couple of reasons. One, it was very logical to me that if I enjoyed the food, why wouldn't I chew it as much as I could each bite? I mean, it tasted good. I was enjoying what I was doing.
Right.
I was a little intimidated sometimes when I'd be with other people because I'd be on a couple of bites and my God, I remember the one guy, I mean, he was done eating by the time I got through a couple of bites. I couldn't believe it. But I found out that if I did that, I would help myself not only enjoy the food, but I would feel better when I was doing it. And one of the tricks I had was when I took a bite of food, I would put the fork down or the spoon, and I wouldn't pick it up again until I had finished chewing. Because you'll notice that when you start eating quickly, you're all excited.
Right.
Especially with sweets, you're eating, oh boy, boy, boy. Well, if you do that, you're going to automatically take more food in than the signal that you should get to tell you that you've eaten enough and stop. It's delayed.
Right.
So by the time you understand that you've eaten more than you should, you say, oh, gee, kind of take a breath. Well, you've already overdone it. But if you eat slower, chew that food, put your fork down, the signal that comes back to you will be more realistic in terms of, well, have I gotten enough? Do I feel good? Am I full? Because a lot of times we're hungry, just want to keep eating fast and fast. But if you chew, put the fork down, you'll find that you'll get more use out of the food. And you'll also have a better signal coming back to tell you, hey, this is satiation. I've had enough. I feel good. I can move on. One of the things too, to help you do that, don't drink liquids with your meal, because then that helps you just swallow the food before you've had a chance to chew it. So if you're a person that gets thirsty, beside chewing the way you're supposed to, putting your fork down, drink maybe 2-3 glasses of water 15-20 minutes before the meal.
Yeah.
That way you'll feel hydrated. You won't have the need or the desire to want to drink while you're eating. hopefully, and then you can apply the rules of good digestion that we've been talking about.
So that is a really excellent tip, right? To savor the moment. It's the same thing. You're being mindful when you're savoring things. And if you're going to eat, there should be a point that even when you're eating for pleasure, not just for fuel, even when you're eating for pleasure, you want to be in that moment and get everything you can out of it. So that's an excellent tip, to chew it 50 times or chew it until it's small enough, for it to break down in your system. Putting your fork down, that's huge. Just to put your fork down between bites, that's a huge tip that I think would probably reduce all of our food consumption without too much effort, because you'll get a chance, like you say, for that signal to make it from your stomach. Those are hormones in your stomach that are telling you when you're full or not full, and it takes some time for them to kick in and to make it to your brain and for your brain to register. So that's excellent tips right there, guys, just for your holidays, is to savor the moment, to make sure that you're enjoying what you're eating, every morsel of it. Savor the time you have with the friends that you're sharing the food with, the family that you're sharing the food with. All of that mindfulness is good for your digestion, good for your mind.
Can I just add one thing to that?
Of
mindfulness?
Course.
Think about the time too. I've done this more lately, maybe because I'm getting older. I just kind of sit back when I'm doing something and I'm kind of looking at what's going on. I'm trying to savor the moment, trying to realize, that I'm having a good time, or there's a beautiful sunset, or I'm enjoying the conversation that we're having, something like that. Because sometimes it just goes away so quickly. And if you haven't taken pictures, for instance, you go back and say, oh, I did that. But be there, because it's going to go away. It's going to go quickly. You're going to keep moving on. But whether it's eating or just sitting there and saying, wow, this is great. This is a good time.
Yeah. So Impacts family, there you go. Another healthy tip for the holidays is to be present in the moment, to make sure you make the most out of that moment, out of the bites that you're eating, the people that you're with. So this is an excellent way for us to not sabotage our health over the holidays. If anything, it can help fill us, right? For the times when we're alone or the times when we're far away from our family, we can look back, and the more that we're in that moment and don't rush through it, it can be very helpful. So thank you again, Carrie. This is an excellent tip. Again, we invite you to visit theimpactsworld.com. Lots of great things happening there, lots of great healthy products, and to be connected to your Impacts World family. And we hope you enjoy your holidays.